Hi everyone, welcome to Flow and Restore Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua. So for the second portion of this class, you'll want some extra props besides 2 blocks and a strap. So maybe grab another pillow or additional pillows and a blanket as well. And let's actually start. We did have a request here to open up the mid-back. So let's begin in child's pose. You may like to have a block underneath your forehead so that you can more comfortably lower your pelvis down to your heels. And then have your arms wherever it's comfortable for you to begin. Taking a pause here to notice how your body feels as you scan it mentally. Tune into the way your body is naturally breathing, just as is, giving you information of your mind state, energetic state, and emotional state. And then clarify your sankalpa, your heart-centered intention for your practice today, a personal prayer, something that you would like to strengthen about yourself. So I'm still in the middle of reading this book, which I am loving. It's by mindfulness teacher Tara Brach, PhD, and it's called Radical Acceptance, Embracing Your Life with the Heart of a Buddha. And she talks about her personal experience when she was on a Vipassana meditation retreat, I think for several weeks. And if you're not familiar with Vipassana meditation, you're in silence the whole time. But you do listen to talks from spiritual teachers. And she does this periodically in her life. And she had just, before leaving for the retreat, fallen in love. And this new relationship was at the spotlight of her awareness throughout this retreat. And she found it so difficult to focus, to be present. She would catch herself in moments of fantasizing about this new person who was not on the retreat with her. And being a spiritual teacher herself, she felt guilty that she was spending all this time and this investment on this, several week-long meditation retreat to deepen her spirituality. But here she is, completely distracted each moment by this new love. And so she sat down with one of the spiritual teachers at the retreat and told them, I've been really trying to get over this desire that's really distracting me throughout this meditation retreat. And this is what her teacher said to her, which was an epiphany for me as well. It doesn't matter what is happening. What matters is how we are relating to our experience. And the teacher advised her to stop fighting her experience and instead investigate the nature of wanting mind. And she said, I could accept whatever was going on that my teacher reminded me, but without getting lost in it. Desire becomes a problem only when it takes over our sense of who we are. And this is something that we'll practice on a introductory layer when we sit in our 10 minutes of guided meditation at the end. But I'd like to bring this theme into our physical practice. As you sense the different feelings in your body as you're moving from posture to posture, what areas feel tense, what areas feel like they're shifting and opening up for you, or whatever it may be, including what happens in the mind, what thoughts start to come up, what distractions may start to come up. Here's a big question I invite you to ask. How am I relating to this experience right now? How am I relating to it? Bring us back into that seat of witness. So with that, if you're still in child's pose, please start to roll your spine upright. Find a comfortable seat and maybe bring your palms to meet at your heart, lifting your heart. Take a deep breath in, fill up the lungs, the belly. And then open the mouth, maybe release a sound. Again, inhaling a little bit deeper, a little bit slower without strain. And then sigh out any stagnant energy, let it go. And then besides setting your intention for your practice today, I invite you to also call to mind someone or a community that you care about that you might dedicate your practice to. And as we set our intentions and dedications, let's send that out through sound, feeling it resonate within us too, chanting 3 ohms. Take a deep breath in. Bow in towards your heart, the light of your inner teacher. And start to focus on breathing fully through the nose, where you expand your belly and your lungs using your diaphragm. And then exhaling completely through the nose, where you feel the belly gently hollow towards the spine. Equal length in breath, equal length out breath, starting to become more rhythmic and brisk. We're going to begin the practice of Bastrika Pranayama, which helps to clear the clouds of the mind and energize, uplift the mood. And with it is an action in which you bend the elbows apart, make fists out of your hands, relax the shoulders, sit tall. You might close your eyes and steady your gaze at your brow center, middle of the forehead. And as you breathe in through the nose, you extend the arms straight up and spread the fingers. And as you breathe out through the nose, you rebend the elbows and refist the hands, sort of like this. So I'm going to set the timer here for 1 minute. Ready? Bellows breath, begin. Last 20 seconds. Relax, breathe naturally. Take a moment to observe. And then let's slow the breath down into Ujjayi Pranayama, in which you inhale and exhale just through the nose, sustaining the breath evenly in and out, while softly narrowing the back of your throat to create a gentle whispering sound. Take your time with this breathing. And as you continue listening to that sound, please come down to hands and knees, all fours. Set your knees a couple inches behind your hips. Set your wrists right under your shoulders. And let's move to the breath in Vipassana, cat-cow pose. On your next inhalation, glide your chest forward, then coil it up, looking up as you drop the shoulders back. As you exhale, press down with your hands and lift the navel, dropping your head, rounding your back. Again, inhale the chest forward, coiling it up. Feel the tailbone lift. Exhale, contract your belly, dropping your head and tailbone. Keep going, maybe another 5 cycles of breath in cat-cow. And then add to this some lateral movements organically. You might begin by turning your head to the left and to the right, So sideways movements, maybe swiveling your hips over to the left, over to the right. Maybe making larger movements where you sink down into your feet through child's pose and breathe in to circle over to the left, lunging forward, and exhale, completing the circle to the right and sinking back to child's pose. So add another 5 cycles of breath. Play with it. No right or wrong here. Just feel into ways that your body wants to move right now to open the channels of energy throughout it. Is anything feeling stuck, stiff, or tense that you might bring some mindful movement and breath into? And then after a couple more cycles of breath, start to make your way into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, where you lift your hips as high as you can, draw your sitting bones back, spread the fingers flat on the ground, and maybe begin to shift around there for a moment, pedaling your feet in place, maybe raising a leg and shaking it out, perhaps softly shaking and nodding your head. See what wants to move. Be in your body. Feel the sensations from the inside. Then bend your knees a lot as you lift your sitting bones as high as possible. Keep lifting your sitting bones, and with your hands, press the mat forward and downward. Pull your hips back, drop your head and relax the back of your neck, and then broaden across your shoulder blades by rotating your triceps, your outer upper arms towards the ground. Lift the shoulders back, hug the front ribs inward towards your back, and then firm the very top fronts of your thigh bones further back. You might straighten the legs, you might not. Find the amount of bent or straight legs that you need to elongate your spine. And then set your eyes on one spot. Let's take 3 more deep breaths here. Rooting the heels deeper and deeper towards the earth, even if they don't touch the floor. Then walk your feet another foot forward, shorter stance towards the hands, and separate your feet as wide as the width of your mat. Either keep your left hand on the floor or prop it up on a block for easier access as we prepare to twist in downward dog. Pick up your right hand and cross it over to the outside of your left leg, holding onto your outer shin or outer ankle. Root your right heel into the ground. Draw your right outer hip towards the back wall, and then look underneath your left armpit towards the ceiling. Turning your chest, soften your neck and jaw. Let's take 3 more breaths in this spinal twist across the mid-back. At the end of your 3rd exhalation, plant your right hand in front, maybe raised on a block. Cross your left hand to catch your outer right calf or ankle. Root your left heel downward, tack your left hip back, and then look under your right armpit towards the ceiling, spiraling your chest to the right. Relax your neck, relax your face. 3 more deep breaths. Now plant the left hand in front and walk up to the front of your mat to stand in a forward fold with your feet hips width apart, parallel. Bend your knees generously and reach your hands behind your lower back to either hold a strap between them or interlace your fingers. Engaging your belly, inhale, stretch the crown of your head towards the front wall, gliding your shoulders down your back. Feel a sense of a flat back here, and then exhale, bow towards your right leg as you straighten it. Bend the left knee a lot. And then stretch the arms away from your lower back. Lift the shoulders away from your neck. Couple more breaths here. You might softly move the head. Bend both knees. Bring your spine through center. Maybe switch the interlacing of thumb and index finger on top. And with the knees bent, pull in the belly. Inhale, draw the crown of your head towards the front wall, towards a flat back. Send the shoulders back. Exhale, bow towards your left straight leg, bending your right knee generously. Listen to the breath. Reaching your arms forward, away from your lower back. Float your shoulder bones upward and just let your head drop. Again, bend both knees a lot. Release your arms, your spine down through center. And as you breathe in, pull in the belly and roll your spine slowly upright to stand, lifting your head last. So that once you rise all the way up, you begin to rotate your shoulder bones back and down on an exhale. Inhale the shoulders forward and up. Exhale them back and down. Let's begin Surya Namaskar C to the breath pace. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, roll your shoulders behind the ears and down, look up. Bend your knees if needed. Exhale, bow with a flat back over your legs. With hands on blocks or the floor, inhale, step the left knee behind you. Look up, kneeling lunge. Lower to hands and knees or legs straight in plank. As you exhale, lower forward through Chaturanga Randasana, all the way to the ground. Firm down through the tops of your feet. Inhale, coil your chest off the floor and peel the shoulder blades down your back, cobra. Tucking your toes, firm the belly. Exhale, press up, lift your hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot forward beside your left thumb with hands on blocks or the floor, lower the back knee, look up. Exhale, step the right foot forward and bow over your legs. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, rise to stand, rolling your shoulders back as you look up. Exhale, join your palms down your center line. Side two, inhale, sweep your arms forward, gently back bend as you look up. Exhale, bow from your hips. Inhale, step the right knee back, look up. Step to plank. Exhale, lower forward through Chaturanga Randasana. Choose either cobra or upward facing dog this time as you breathe in. Lift through the navel, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right foot beside your right thumb, lower your back knee and look up. Exhale, step your left foot forward and bow. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, rise to stand in a gentle back bend. Exhale, bring your hands to meet at your heart. Take a deep breath and sweep your arms overhead, taking hold of your left wrist with your right hand. Exhale, side bend to your right. Root down to your left foot. Inhale, rise up to center, switch, holding the right wrist. Exhale, side bend to your left, rooting down the right foot. Inhale up to center. Let's try another variation. Interlace your fingers and flip your palms up. Exhale again to the right, side bend, but draw the shoulder blades down your back. Inhale, lift to center. Exhale to your left, side bend. Inhale up to center. Heel toe, your feet together to touch. Let's try a variation of Sun Salutation B. One breath, each movement. So preparing for chair, feet together, knees together. Inhale as you sit low, maybe play with grazing the floor with your fingertips, keeping your hips that low as you raise your arms. Then exhale, bow over your legs. Press your legs or the ground ahead. Inhale, stretch the top of your head forward. Walk to plank pose. As you exhale, gliding forward slowly through Chaturanga Randasana. Cobra or upward facing dog, breathe in to coil your chest up. Engage the belly to lift your pelvis back. Downward facing dog to the breath. Inhale, raise your right leg, squaring your hips to evenly face the ground. Exhale, bend the right knee towards your nose, rounding your back. Plant the right foot beside your right thumb. Stay on the ball of your left foot. Inhale, rise up to crescent lunge, arms overhead. Join your hands at your heart. Lower the left heel and align right heel to arch of left foot. Exhale, open your arms into warrior two, gazing past the right hand. Inhale, straighten your right leg, flip the right palm and side bend towards your rear wall. Reverse triangle pose. Exhale your hands to the floor from plank, lower through Chaturanga into your Vinyasa. I'll meet you in downward dog. At downward facing, inhale, raise your left leg from the inseam. Exhale, bend your left knee towards your nose and round into plank. Step the left foot beside your left thumb. Stay in a high lunge. Inhale, rise up to crescent pose. Join your hands at your heart. Align heel to arch. Exhale into warrior two. Straighten your left leg. Flip the left palm, side bend to the back wall. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale from plank pose down to Chaturanga Randasana, finishing your Vinyasa. As you arrive in downward facing dog, steady your gaze on one spot, steady your drishti, and rebalance the sound rhythm of your breathing. Notice what you feel here and how you're relating to that. Empty this breath as you look forward, then walk or float to the front of your mat. Feet together in your forward fold. Inhale, press the ground to your legs. Lift your spine forward. Exhale, fold again. Bend your knees together, feet together. Inhale, sit low in chair pose. Exhale, rise tall in mountain pose. Let's try the same sequence again, moving to your breath. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen forward, step to plank, or this time, float into Chaturanga Randasana. Keep going into your Vinyasa to your pace of breath. And when you arrive at downward dog, inhale, raise your right leg back. Exhale, round forward and step the foot into a high lunge. Inhale, rise up into crescent pose. Then open to your left, exhale, warrior two. With straight legs, inhale, reverse triangle pose. All the way to the ground, exhale into your Vinyasa. Take it all the way through. When you're ready, from downward dog, inhale, raise your left leg. Exhale, round forward, step the foot beside your left thumb, high lunge. Inhale, rise up into crescent pose. Then to your right, exhale, warrior two. With straight legs, inhale, reverse triangle pose. All the way to the ground, exhale into your Vinyasa. At downward facing dog, listen to your breath. Feel what's present in your mind and body. Then after your third exhalation, lightly land at the front of your mat. Breathe in to lengthen forward. Breathe out to fold. Into chair pose, inhale. Stay in chair pose, join your hands at your heart and begin to twist to your right side, breath by breath, for about 5 breaths. Revolved chair pose. Parita Utkatasana. If you peek at your knees, make sure that they're both along the same line, not left knee forward of the right. This helps to ensure that you're not turning your pelvis, you're keeping the hips squared, but you're turning your rib cage. So twisting at your waistline. Then relax the shoulders away from your neck. One more deep breath. Sink your hips a little lower, unwind to center, inhale back to chair. As you rise to stand, lift your left foot, flexing it in front of you. Take a moment to balance out your two hips. Then with your right hand on your right hip, optional to use a strap, catch hold of your left big toe with your index and middle finger of the left hand. Now, if it's not reachable, you can take the strap and step the ball of your left foot into the loop or the center of your strap, holding the strap instead. Draw your left sitting bone downward towards your inner right heel. Keep your two shoulders stacked above your two hips. How's your breathing? And begin to kick your left foot forward while you pull the foot towards you. To whatever degree you can straighten your left leg while keeping your spine vertically upright. Hand to big toe pose. This time, let's add a hip opener. Turn out your left thigh at the hip and begin to open the left leg slowly to the left. Right arm out to the right. Again, maintaining that upright spine so that your center line of your body is strong like a pillar. Maybe look over your right thumb and let's take another 3 breaths in Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. And sometimes the balance is there, sometimes it's shaky. How do we relate to what's here now? Looking forward, bring your left leg in front, raise your right arm up, stand a little taller as you breathe in. Exhale your left foot next to the right, mountain pose. Take a full breath. With your feet touching, knees touching. Inhale, let's sit back in chair. Join your hands at your heart. At your waistline, exhale, begin to twist to your left side, little by little. Inhale, maybe sink the hips lower, stretch the spine forward and up. Keep tacking your right hip back as you rotate your chest to the left. If you peek at your knees, see that your two knees are in one line. Right knee is not forward of the left. Last 3 breaths. Parita Utkatasana. Revolved chair pose. Sinking your hips lower. Inhale your arms up in chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale as you rise, lift your right foot flexed. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Maybe grab your strap or use your right peace fingers to clasp your right big toe. Make sure before you start to straighten the right leg that your balance is stable. Your two shoulders are right over your two hips. Breath is steady. Take it one step at a time. Then when you're ready, kick the right foot forward while pulling the foot towards you. Lift tall through the center line of your body. And once your balance is established there, begin to rotate your right thigh externally before opening the right leg to the right and your left arm to the left. Draw your right sitting bone downward towards your inner left heel. Let's take another 3 breaths here in Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Hand to big toe pose. Then looking forward, slowly bring your right leg in front of you, raise your left arm up, take a breath to stand tall. This time, step your right foot all the way to the back of your mat, coming into a wide stance, pivot your feet to face the wide width of your mat, preparing for a wide-legged forward fold with the option of moving into tripod headstand. So bring your hands to your hips. Also an option to place blocks in front of you so that you can lower your hands on blocks if the floor feels too low. Parallel your feet. Inhale, roll your shoulders back, look up. Hinging from your hips. Exhale, place your hands down on blocks or the floor. From there, press with your fingertips. Inhale, stretch the crown of your head forward. Peel your shoulders down your back, belly firming in. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Now, if your hands are flat on the floor, and it can help to step the feet even wider apart and or bend your knees to make the ground more reachable, then see if you can walk the hands further back, creating the arms of Chaturanga Randasana, where your elbows bend at 90 degrees stacked above your wrists. Keeping your arms parallel, see if the crown of your head touches the floor. Very crown of the head. If you have no neck injuries, then you might begin to place one knee on top of one upper arm and then the other knee, like you might do in crow. This is tripod headstand. You also have the option of bringing your feet together and beginning to unfold your legs straight up with feet flexed, reaching your tailbone towards your inner heels and your inner heels towards the sky. Hugging the front ribs in, whatever inversion, which includes a standing forward fold you're practicing. Take another 5 deep breaths. And when you're ready, if your feet are off the floor, gently lower back into that wide-legged stance. From the wide-legged forward fold, or Prasarita Padottanasana, walk your hands forward. Inhale, press your heart through the gates of your arms. Bend your knees as you exhale, bringing your hands to your hips. With a flat back, inhale, slowly rise all the way up to stand. And so now we begin our yin practice. So come on down to sit. Extend your left leg forward. Turn out your right thigh at the hip and cross it as much as you can over your left thigh. Notice, does your back begin to round as you're sitting here? If so, take your folded blanket or pillow and prop your pelvis onto the front edge of it. So the pelvis slightly tilts forward, and then you lift the spine a little taller. Grab your strap, and as your right leg is on top, hold the strap in your left hand, dangling the long end of the strap behind your back. Now you also have the option of bending the bottom knee. If you can keep your 2 sitting bones evenly grounded, go ahead and add that. So you splay the feet maybe wider apart. Use your right hand to help you externally rotate your left upper arm. So the tricep rotates forward, and bring the elbow behind your head. Reach your right hand underneath, grab the other end of the strap, walk your hands as close together as you can. You might clasp your hands if they reach. Press down through your 2 sitting bones and breathe in. Lift the spine a little taller, blossoming your chest open. Soften the shoulders down. Keep your neck long. Exhale, begin to hinge from your hips. Got about 9 more breaths exploring the range of your forward fold here in Gomukhasana, cow face pose. On your next inhalation, slowly rise up and release your arms, uncross your legs. Sitting tall in stick pose, Dandasana. Take 3 breaths here. Just feel the effects of that posture. Slowing down can take some effort if we're used to going from one thing to another. So really honor that opportunity here in this practice. Let's turn out the left thigh at the hip. Cross it over your right thigh as much as you can, maybe the knees stack. Notice what's more appropriate for your body here right now, whether to keep the bottom leg straight and the foot flexed, or to bend the bottom knee as well. Take your strap in your right hand, dangle the tail behind your back, and with the help of your left hand, externally rotate your right upper arm bone. Bring the elbow behind your head, reach your left hand underneath, walk your hands as close together as you can on the strap, maybe clasping your fingers and releasing the strap. As you ground to your two sitting bones, breathe in and lift your spine tall. Keep the shoulders relaxed and exhale, begin to bow from your hips. Taking another 9 deep Ujjayi breaths, folding forward. With an inhalation, slowly rise up, uncrossing your arms and legs, and sitting tall in Dandasana again for 3 breaths, observing. So there's a variation of hand to big toes that we did not practice standing up today. So we're going to practice it sitting down. You may want to grab your strap. Step the ball of your right foot in it. Bend your right knee if you're not grabbing the strap, and hold your outer foot with your left hand instead. Otherwise, left hand holds the strap. Backstroke the right arm so the hand is on the floor. Flex both of your feet, curl the toes back, and then sit tall onto your sitting bones. The spine is tall. Kick your right foot forward as you pull the strap or your foot, and then begin to twist to your right side. Root down to your pelvis. Breathe in and lift up through your spine. Exhale, continue to turn your chest to the right. Optional to raise the right arm straight behind you and look towards it. About 5 more breaths here. This is revolved hand to big toe pose, sitting down. Or Parita Uttita Hasta Parangushtasana. One more deep breath, broaden across your chest. As you exhale, unwind your spine and bring the sole of your right foot high onto the inner side of your left thigh. Take the strap, place it around the ball of your left foot, flexing the foot as you hold the strap with 2 hands. Root again to your pelvis, breathe up the spine. Exhale, hinge forward, folding towards your left pinky toe. Breath by breath, a total of 10 slow breaths. When you're ready, inhale, slowly rise up, removing the strap. Put the strap aside just for now, and we'll start extending the right leg forward. Now, if you're going to use a strap for the revolved sitting hand to big toe, again, step the ball of your left foot into the strap. Otherwise, take hold of your outer foot with your right hand. Left hand backstrokes to the floor behind you. Kick your left foot forward as you pull the foot towards you, sitting up taller with each in-breath. Turn your chest to your left with each out-breath, pressing the tops of your shoulders down. Lift up through the center of your spine. Optional to raise your left arm straight behind you and look towards it. We've got about 7 more breaths here. Then when you're ready, exhaling, turn out your left thigh, hug the sole of your left foot high up on your inner right thigh. Perhaps use a strap around the ball of your right foot. For Janu Shirshasana, head to knee pose. Hold the strap with 2 hands. Inhale, press down to your pelvis, lift up to your crown. And hinging from your hips, exhale, bow towards your right pinky toe. Total of 10 deep breaths. Keep drawing your shoulder blades down your back ribs. Invite a slight lift at your sternum, middle of your chest. And as you're ready, breathe in to slowly rise up. Put the strap aside. And let's set up for a supported back bend, opening the fronts of your shoulders and your chest. So you may like to have your legs in Supta Baddha Konasana, in which you bend the knees apart. If you want more external rotation of the thighs, if you want to stretch the lower back more or cross the lower back, do the opposite with your legs. You'll step your feet about mat width apart and drop the knees together to touch. That will help to gently stretch across the sacrum. If you're taking Baddha Konasana, you may like to roll up a blanket and offer your outer thighs support. So it's more of a restorative posture in which you're not doing any work to hold your body up. In fact, it's a practice of letting go. So if you have a rolled up blanket, feet are together, you can cross the middle of that rolled blanket onto your inner ankles and tuck the edges of the blanket underneath your outer thighs. And that should feel snugly. And then take your 2 blocks, one at the tallest height. Good place to start. But if you're already feeling pretty open in the fronts of your shoulders, I invite you to place that block that will be under your head on the medium or lowest height. You can decide when you come onto it how it feels. The second block will be medium height. And you can decide if you want to cross it laterally across your mat, so you land the area right under your shoulder blades on it, or if you want it to be tracing your spine, tracing the midline of your mat. If so, the edge that is closest to your pelvis, you want it to be right about the area between the bottom inner tips of your shoulder blades. You can adjust to how it feels to you, adjust to flavor, what ingredients you add. And then as you lie back, rotate your upper arms externally, turn the palms to face up, drop the backs of the hands on the ground beside you, and walk your shoulder blades down your back ribs. Take a wide in-breath across your chest, spreading the collarbones from sternum to each shoulder head. Lengthen the back and front of your neck. Notice how the left side of your shoulders and arms feel compared to the right side. And see if there's any little adjustment you might give your body so that you can feel more symmetry and ease. Then closing your eyes here, we'll practice a grounding breathing technique called Samavriti Pranayama, or box breathing. And it's done by inhaling and exhaling through the nose, a count of 4 on the in-breath, holding the breath, a count of 4, and a count of 4 exhaling, then holding the breath, a count of 4. That's 1 cycle. So let's try 3 cycles together, 2 cycles on your own. Empty this breath, hold it at the bottom to prepare. Slowly inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last round together. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue 2 more cycles on your own of box breathing. And without rushing, when you do finish Samavriti Pranayama, let go of controlling your breath. Rest in its natural flow, placing your awareness on your breath coming and going. As we begin to transition into corpse pose or Shavasana, choose how you'd like to place your body in that position of rest, whether it's to stay in the position you're in right now, or if you're moving, move very gently, gradually. As you arrive in corpse pose, closing your eyes, allow your body, your mind, and your breath to be at ease. Still resting in stillness. Observe your body, your breath, your mind. Notice the effects of your practice. And moving very gradually, little by little, begin to move your body into a simple, easy stretch, one after another. Perhaps keeping your eyes closed as you begin to lift your body into a comfortable seat for a guided 10 minutes of meditation. This practice was written by one of the pioneers of mindfulness, this meditation itself, Jon Kabat-Zinn. And it is a meditation on observing thoughts. It's about letting thoughts come and go so that you can avoid getting sucked into them. We talked about Tara Brach's experience in her Vipassana meditation retreat and learning how to understand the way she relates with desire, the distraction that she was experiencing. So here's a practice in learning how to neutrally relate to what arises in our mind. So sitting tall, grounded, maybe the eyes are closed, or maybe you prefer steadying a soft gaze on something ahead. Place your hands in a position that helps you to relax and stay aware. Take a few moments to settle in to feeling your body as a whole. Sitting and breathing, riding the waves of the breath moment by moment. Resting in awareness. An awareness that features the entirety of the bodyscape and the breathscape as they express themselves, moment by moment. Life unfolding here and now, in the body, in awareness. And when you're ready, if you care to, letting go of the breath and the body as a whole, allowing them to recede into the background or rest in the wings, as we've been saying, still very much present, but less featured, while we invite the whole domain of thoughts and feelings and mood states to be center stage in the field of awareness. For a time, attending to the stream of thought, rather than being carried away by the content or emotional charge of individual thoughts. Instead, resting comfortably on the bank of the thoughts, river or the thought stream itself, allowing individual thoughts, if and when they arise, to be seen, felt, recognized, and known, as though thoughts were events in the field of awareness. Recognizing thoughts as mental events, occurrences, secretions of the thinking mind, independent of their content and their emotional charge, even as that content and emotional charge are also seen and known. Seeing any and all of these fleeting thoughts as bubbles, eddies, and currents within the stream, rather than as facts or as the truth of things, whatever the content, whatever the emotional charge, whatever their urgency or their tendency to reappear, whether they are pleasant or seductive, unpleasant or repulsive, or neutral, and therefore harder to detect at all. Expanding the metaphor, seeing any and all of these evanescent thoughts, events, more like clouds in the sky or bubbles coming off the bottom of a pot of boiling water. Relating to their content as if it were of equal importance and relevance to, say, what you had for dinner 3 nights ago, even if a thought is particularly compelling and insightful, especially if it is particularly compelling and insightful. For now, just let any and all thoughts come and go. It might be helpful to be especially sensitive to the steady stream of commentary and advice you may be giving yourself as you sit here, and recognizing it as such, as scaffolding, as running commentary, taking a position in relationship to it that resembles turning down the sound on a television set, so that you're just watching the game and aren't being sucked into the endless stream of commentary and interpretation and opinion that is so characteristic of televised sports events. And so, in the remainder of 1 minute together, continue to notice what arises, what passes in your mind until you hear the bell. Gently expand your awareness to your physical body, moving from your inner world to your outer world. Sense the space around your physical body, the room that you're sitting in. And then place your palms to meet together at your heart, bowing in to close this practice. Perhaps mentally restate your intention for this practice, planting its seed in your subconscious mind. And then as well, remember to whom or what you dedicated this practice to. And then closing together, let's join our voices one more time, chanting Om. Take a deep breath in. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.